Welcome to the stage the Honourable Nicole Manison. There will be no Q&A at the end of this session, so you can give your fingers a rest from typing and voting. Nicole is a born and bred Territorian, passionate about making a positive difference in her community. She has been the member for Wangaraii since 2013 and is also the Deputy Chief Minister, the Minister for Tourism and Hospitality, Minister for Parks and Rangers, Minister for Advanced Manufacturing, Minister for Mining and Industry, and the Minister for Northern Australia and Trade. Nicole's driving passion is to create more jobs across the Northern Territory and to grow the economy. She believes that it will create better opportunities for all Territorians and strengthen our schools, health system, housing and community safety. Can we please welcome to the stage the Honourable Nicole Manison.
Well, good afternoon everybody, and I too would like to start by acknowledging the traditional owners on the land on which we meet today, the Ngunnawal people, and pay my deep respects to their elders past, present and emerging. And I would also like to acknowledge current and ex-serving veterans and their families, acknowledging the sacrifices they have made and continue to make for service to this nation. But ladies and gentlemen, it is great to be speaking here today as the Deputy Chief Minister of the Northern Territory, who is part of a government deeply committed to working with the Australian Defence Force and our allies to play our important role in the security of this nation. I'd also like to acknowledge my dear friend and colleague from the Federal Parliament, the Member for Solomon, Luke Gosling, a former serving veteran, but also a passionate driving force when it comes to supporting our Defence Forces. The Northern Territory has proudly and rightfully fulfilled its role for many decades when it comes to the security and defence of our nation. And there are stark reminders of our efforts from the Second World War right across the top end, especially in our vibrant capital city, Darwin. Today, you can still see the scars of where bombs fell, wrecks remain in their fallen place, and gun turrets still line our beaches and foreshores. You can still see the submarine line placements, and war tunnels are located right under the Darwin CBD, as well as runways for fighter planes still standing proud parallel to our major connecting highway to the rest of Australia. We are proud of our past, defending our nation and its security interests, and we will continue this critically important work. And in the Territory, we deeply value defence families. They are Territorians. They are an important part of our social fabric, our schools, our sporting teams, our communities. And we know that defence families have a great time, a great lifestyle and incredible opportunities when they move to the Northern Territory. As many of you will know, the defence presence in the north is substantial. Darwin is home to Headquarters Northern Command, the 1st Brigade at Robertson Barracks, the Navy Patrol Group at HMAS Coonawarra, Regional Force Surveillance Group's headquarters, and the Northwest Mobile Force and the Marine Forward Support Coordination Team at Larrakia Defence Precinct. All of these facilities have recently or are currently undergoing modernisation and upgrades, much which is being successfully delivered by Territory industry and local businesses. Just outside the regional town of Katherine is RAF-based Tyndall, which is being transformed through the $1.1 billion redevelopment to support new platforms such as the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter entering service with 75 Squadron. And terrain and geography is key. The Territory is home to some of the best training areas and ranges, not just in the region but in the world, enabling large-scale, multi-domain and multinational military exercises like the upcoming exercise Pitch Black and exercise Kakadu 2022. And as someone who grew up in Darwin, it just doesn't feel right if you do not hear the sounds of jets through our skies every dry season. Local Territorians absolutely love the sounds of the jets in training. Due to their size and remoteness, areas like the Bradshaw Field Training Area can be utilised in ways not possible elsewhere. The capability of these areas will only increase with the $747 million US Force Posture Initiative training areas and Rangers project, being delivered by the Territory's own company, Sitzler, as managing contractor. This project is part of an $8 billion capital, facilities and infrastructure investment in the Territory. For years, we have advocated for an increased focus on the North, working to highlight the strategic significance. This is now occurring, and our industry is ready to deliver on these critically important requirements. Today, I will outline the strategic approach that we are taking towards defence and national security in the Northern Territory, an approach of collaboration, cooperation and coordination, and I'll explain how we are harnessing our potential and converting it into real outcomes for the Territory economy, defence and our nation. To strengthen our position as a defence and national security hub, we enlisted the guidance of some of the most experienced strategic thinkers and experts on national security, on our National Security Advisory Group. Under the leadership of the Territory's Defence and National Security Advocate, Dr. Alan DuPont, AO, we have developed the advisory group membership to have representation from across the Quad with retired Marine Corps Lieutenant General John Whistler from the United States, retired Lieutenant General Shingeki Muto from the Japanese Self-Defence Force, and retired Vice Admiral Pradeep Chowan from the Indian Navy. We have contemporary expertise from the Australian Defence Force, including Maritime Advisor Rear Admiral retired Alan Dutoit AM and Land Domain Advisor Major General retired Mick Ryan AM. The advisory group has had significant gains in achieving recognition for the Territory from our allies, particularly the United States, through implementation of our US engagement strategy. We are also developing Japan and India engagement strategies, rounding out the Quad. The US engagement strategy aligns with the United States Force Posture Initiative and looks to leverage our world-class training areas and ranges, current and future infrastructure developments and industry capability to support increased US activity in the Indo-Pacific region. Late last year, we saw the announcement of the $270 million US bulk fuel storage project awarded to Crowley and being built at Darwin's East Arm by Saunders International. Once completed, the facility will hold 300 million litres of aviation fuel to support enhanced air cooperation initiatives. This year, we will also see a US Army rotation accompanied by a Patriot Air Defence Systems visiting the Northern Territory for the first time. These projects and activities confirm the strategic significance of the Northern Territory and signal a long-term commitment to the US presence in Australia. And AUKUS will provide further opportunity for the collaboration, and the Territory is ready to play its part. With strategic circumstances changing rapidly, it is critical that we strengthen our relationships with key partners. We need to be able to work together to understand our options, conduct assessments and make decisions with greater tempo. In this context, the Territory Government has seen an opportunity to pursue an innovative solution, harnessing data and investing in new digital technologies. We have formed a strategic partnership with Socorro, Dassault Systems and the Australian Maritime College's AMC Search to develop a virtual twin platform with the aim of assisting defence and other sectors and users with planning for infrastructure, logistics, supply chains and training, as well as the optimisation of current activities. From September to November last year, this partnership was able to develop a virtual twin to proof of concept level and for demonstrations to defence. And since this time, we have continued to develop the platform, feeding in data from a range of sources inside and external to government, and engaged with a broad range of stakeholders in defence and other sectors. As you can see behind me, we are able to explore the possibilities within the platform, building infrastructure in a virtual environment, testing and validating assumptions, accelerating and de-risking projects. Earlier this year, we were fortunate enough to have the US Indo-Pacific Commander Admiral John Aquilino to visit Darwin and demonstrate this virtual twin project. As a result of that demonstration, we are progressing with further engagement with Indo-Pacific Command. If you'd like to see more or discuss the potential in further detail, please go visit DASO. The booth is just outside. The work undertaken on the virtual twin to date reflects that the maritime sector is a key focus for the Northern Territory. We are pleased to see works progressing towards the establishment of the Navy's Regional Maintenance Centre North under Plan Galileo. Underpinning the Regional Maintenance Centre North and broader maritime sustainment will be the development of the Darwin shiplift at East Arm, lifting and transferring up to 5,000 tonnes. This will be the largest shiplift facility in Northern Australia. We will very soon announce the award and design construct contract for the Darwin shiplift and look forward to works commencing shortly thereafter. This enabling infrastructure will not only support the needs of the Royal Australian Navy, but this infrastructure is well positioned to support the Australian Army's future amphibious capability. The Territory will serve as a hub for sustainment, maintenance and training for the littoral manoeuvre vessel fleet, and we are currently exploring the opportunities through the virtual twin, working closely with Defence to understand these requirements. RAF Tyndall will be the forward operating base for the MQ Triton, and we are working closely with the RAF to ensure that this capability is well supported. The Northern Territory is also home to many innovative people and businesses where they have defence-relevant capability. We are introducing these businesses to the Australian Defence Force. Territory innovators are not waiting around to see what happens next. They are inventing new capabilities that operationalise Industry 4.0 capabilities, or they're investing in infrastructure to prepare for the evolution of our industrial base. They cannot continue to wait. For too long, funding mechanisms on offer have set the acceptable risk thresholds too high. Projects in Northern Australia will always have a high risk if we don't grow the industrial capability. The approach of only backing the sure thing projects is the reason development has been slower. For the projects that succeed, though, they build momentum for the next project, and projects in Northern Australia shape the nation, arguably more than those in the southern states. For example, Territory company Speed 3D, working out of their facility at Charles Darwin University, are developing revolutionary cold spray 3D metal printing capability. Following trials with Defence, Speed 3D's technology was deployed to support the Bradshaw Field Training Area as part of Exercise Coolidong 2021. Where they were able to successfully demonstrate this capability in the field to the benefit of both the Australian Defence Force and the US Marine Corps. Creating greater equipment availability, reducing logistical footprints, and overall creating tempo with the supply chain. Primes would be well placed to find a way to have this technology as part of your product offerings through life support. To foster innovators like Speed 3D and facilitate the establishment of new businesses and new projects, the Territory Government has set up the Local Jobs Fund. The $189 million fund provides concessional loans and equity to assist businesses to expand and establish themselves in their projects and grow capability and capacity. We have provided assistance to a number of businesses through the Local Jobs Fund, including Speed 3D, Asia Pacific Aircraft Storage in Alice Springs, and, recently, the amphibian aerospace industry's G111T seaplane, the Albatross. This is a hugely exciting project and one that presents great economic and industrial benefit to the Territory. One of the world's most established engine manufacturers, Pratt & Whitney, have publicly committed to the program and have been involved in its progression over 5 years. Pratt & Whitney has determined a sustained market demand out past 15 years, and further independent assessments determine a market requirement of more than 500 aircraft in the passenger and cargo markets. This analysis does not include government, defence or special missions markets. The Albatross program will create 300 direct jobs, but hundreds more in the supply chain and facilities construction. These won't be unskilled labour jobs. Quite the opposite, we're talking about Industry 4.0 and advanced manufacturing processes and skills. Dassault Systems, a world leader in digital technology, are also part of Team Albatross, having commenced the digital twin works on the G111T and associated infrastructure manufacturing assembly lines, with the largest maritime surveillance program in the world and geopolitical environment with the Indo-Pacific defence and special missions applications are very important. Historically, seaplanes have been involved in anti-submarine search and rescue surveillance operations. With modern advancements, this may be once again the area we see the seaplane re-up here. AAI was a successful applicant under the Local Jobs Program. As well as the Local Jobs Fund, the Territory Government has appointed Commissioners for Investment, Major Projects and Infrastructure to guide and drive development. Through our investment solutions, the Commissioners are seeing unprecedented investments in data, digital infrastructure, critical minerals developments and large-scale solar and hydrogen projects. In the last 6 months, we've announced 3 new digital connections, 3 linking Darwin to Southeast Asia and North America. Focus, Darwin-Jakarta-Singapore cable will be the first fibre link connecting Darwin and Singapore. Hawaii-Niue will connect Darwin to Singapore, Jakarta, the eastern states, New Zealand, Hawaii and Los Angeles. Construction on this subsea starts this year, ready for service in 2025. The Inlingo network will connect the Territory to Singapore with links to Indonesia, Timor-Leste, Guam, Japan and the US. The $700 million subsea optical cable begins rollout this year, along with the $200 million terrestrial cable connecting Darwin and Adelaide. But this just isn't all about digital connections. This is about what it does for the Territory and what it opens up. We are also seeing that data centres, cloud-based computing services, defence, advanced manufacturing, 3D printing, space and aviation are all benefiting from this. Next DC will begin construction of a $150 million data centre in the Darwin CBD this year. DCI Data Centres has also confirmed a plan to construct a data centre in Darwin. We're also progressing the Middle Arm Sustainable Development Precinct, which has been boosted by a $1.5 million investment from the federal government. The Territory Government is working to deliver the Middle Arm Precinct that will have the ability to cater for a range of industries, including low emissions petrochemicals, renewable hydrogen, carbon capture and storage and minerals processing. Our abundant natural resources are the launchpad for expanding beyond gas export expertise to establish sustainable gas-based processing and manufacturing. Middle Arm is already home to globally significant liquefied natural gas exports hubs, world-leading ones, with the Santos-led Darwin LNG and the INPEX-led Ichthys LNG project supplying over 10% of Japan and Taiwan's annual global LNG imports. Critical minerals are also a key focus for the Territory Government and myself as the Minister for Mining. There is a strong motivation in Australia and among our allies to take action on diversifying critical mineral supply chains. As essential components in the construction of everything from modern commercial technology to advanced defence equipment, preventing bottlenecks in supply chains will be critical moving forward. The Territory is home to an abundance of critical mineral resources, and our government is committed to supporting enabling initiatives that work towards achieving diversification of supply chains. Our support for Arafura Resources' Nolan's Rare Earths Mine project, which intends to not only extract but also process critical minerals in the Territory, is just one example. Another exciting development in the Northern Territory from an industry also relying on critical minerals is the emergence of the space sector. You may have seen the Prime Minister's recent visit to Darwin to announce with our Chief Minister Natasha Files that NASA this Sunday will launch rockets from the Equatorial Launch Australia's Arnhem Space Centre. The Equatorial Launch Australia's launch site is in the vicinity of Nhulunbuy in East Arnhem Land. The launch on Sunday will be NASA's first ever commercial space launch outside of the US. Located at 12 degrees south of the equator, the Arnhem Space Centre offers access to a full range of orbits and inclinations, as well as mission payload and launch management efficiencies. The site offers launch clients excellent weather and stable upper atmospheric conditions, low aviation and maritime traffic, a stable geopolitical environment, and comprehensive logistics infrastructure. So, ladies and gentlemen, these recent developments see the realisation of just some of the potential the Northern Territory has to offer. We invite you to come on the journey with us as a government who is committed to economic development through converting the possible into reality. We are open for business, a strong supporter of innovation, and a trusted partner of defence and defence industry. In closing, I would like to indicate our support to a commitment the new federal government made to undertaking a force posture review, and look forward to seeing the outcomes of this in due course. We would also like to advocate for the development of a Northern Australian defence policy, one that clearly articulates the defence and broader national security priorities and enables governments and industry across the North to plan and invest for the future. The Northern Territory, Queensland and Western Australia are already discussing collaboration on defence and defence industry matters, and we look forward to working with the Commonwealth on issues and opportunities going forward. A Northern Australia defence policy based on enhanced force posture would optimise the way we work with our allies and partners and respond to the emerging challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, the Northern Territory stands ready to support the current and future defence and national security requirements. Thank you to Australian Defence Magazine for this event today and the opportunity to speak. Thank you very much.